Hello, welcome back to Asian Cinema Season. Today we have our very first special guest, Bryan Lomax Movie Talk, who's very kindly joined us to talk about his top 5 Zhang Yimou films, if that is how you pronounce that director's name. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he picked, maybe getting some inspirations for films that I can check out myself too, because I'm sure that I haven't seen all 5 that he's going to talk about. Definitely check out Bryan's channel. He does great movie content. I'll leave a link to his channel at the end of this one. You can click, you can subscribe, check out all the stuff he does on his channel, and I highly recommend that you do so. So, without any further ado, here we go with Bryan.
Hello there, I'm Bryan Lomax from Bryan Lomax Movie Talk, and Luke has asked me to come on and, well, talk about anything really, just as long as it's to do with Asian cinema. Now, I can't say that I watch tons of Asian cinema. I don't want to give that false impression, but I am quite a fan of the films, I should say, of Zhang Yimou. Or Yimou, I don't quite know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but yeah, he did one of my favourite films, which we'll get to. A couple of my favourite films, actually. But I think most of his body of work is pretty interesting. If not entirely successful, there's usually something of interest in it. Now, his most recent film was The Great Wall, which I wasn't particularly keen on. It was a bit of a disappointment, it's got to be said. As a fan of his work, it was a bit of a disappointment. But I want to give you my top 5 of his films. Now, my number 5 choice can really swap and change depending what mood I'm in. Even when I sat down to make this list, when I sat down to record this video, I was still umming and ahhing about which one to put at number 5. But my number 5 choice is Not One Less. So Not One Less is about this teacher who she goes to this rural school, and she doesn't really know what she's doing, to be honest. She's barely educated herself. But due to the government kind of taking kids from the schools through various incentives, the teacher there who she's going to be filling in for doesn't want any more of his kids to leave. So he tells her that, look, if I come back and there's not one less child, then I will pay you extra. She's driven to make sure that no more kids leave the school. But one does, one ends up leaving, and she goes off to find them. She goes off to try and bring them back, which means she goes to the big city. She goes into the city to look for this child and bring them back. And the film really is all about that, her struggle to bring this child back. But what it does, for anyone who kind of is aware, even remotely, of the political climate at the time this film was made, is it highlights the way that the society's run. Now, a lot of people have interpreted this film as pro-government because at the end of the film, she gets the kid back through the help of, a authority figure, so to speak, an organisation, I should say, through the media. So people kind of interpreted that as pro-government. But there's also many people who interpret this film as anti-government, because what Yimou does is set up various situations which highlight that actually the main drive for most people in this society is personal gain, is money or personal gain, And even Wei's journey, this teacher who goes off on this journey, even her journey to get this child back really begins because she wants that extra money. She wants that extra bit of pay. By the time we get to the end with her character, it becomes about more than that. It is genuinely about this child. But for the most part, most people's motivations in this film are driven by personal gain. And it also has a good commentary on the media in that regard, because when she's trying to campaign to get on this TV network to advertise in order to try and find this child, and really they only allow her on because they think it's going to boost ratings, so it's not really about their kind-hearted nature so much as just highlighting who it is who's in control here and the power that the media have and what it is that promotes their use of it, i.e., as I say, personal gain. It is it's quite a clever film. It's, a lot of stuff's quite hidden, but it is there if you're looking for it. On the surface, it does just seem like a fluff piece, I guess, but it isn't. Anything but. And number 4 is Red Sorghum. Now, this is Yimou's first film, and also his first of many in which he cast Gong Li as his lead actress. They had an incredible working relationship, done so many films together, but yeah, this was the first. And again, this is another film that gets very political. It's set during the invasion of China by Japan, and this is something that is quite prominent in Yimou's work, really. It is something that affected the country deeply, really cut deeply, and I think kind of influences a lot of what he does. Now, it is, again, for the most part, a bit of a fluff piece. This woman, it's about this woman who ends up in this town, and it's kind of, it's a bit of a comedy. It's a bit light-hearted, but then in the final third of the film, or about halfway through, it takes a really, really dark turn when the Japanese invade, and a lot of torture ensues, and you're just kind of sat there thinking, oh my goodness, what on earth is happening? Because, like I say, the tonal shift is just like that. But I think it's just a good, solid reminder of how lives are shattered during wartime. I knew nothing about this film. I caught it late one night on TV, and I thought I was watching one thing, and then when it switched, it turned out I was watching something else entirely. So yeah, it's an incredible film. I've not gone back to watch it since, but I guarantee it will hit you quite hard if you watch it. Particularly if you don't know what's coming. But yeah, Red Sorghum is my number 4 choice. At number 3, sticking with that theme of the Japanese invasion, is Flowers of War. The Flowers of War, starring Christian Bale, one of my favourite actors. But yeah, this again deals with the Japanese invading China, but particularly the rape of Nanking. And it's very distressing, I must say. Very graphic. There's moments when we see these Japanese soldiers raping these women, and that those moments actually are really played to the hilt, like very excessively, and I kind of think almost too excessively. But I also feel that this is something Yimou's dealing with, and this is how he feels about it, and you can feel his raw emotion. What he feels about this situation is up there on screen, for better or worse in some regards. But this film isn't just about those harsh scenes. It's about this priest, well, not a priest, it's this man who kind of disguises himself as a priest in order to basically save his own life. But over the course of the film, he suddenly turns to the protection of these women, becomes the protector of these women, using the guise of this priest to do so. So it's based on real events and just very hard hitting. This is another film I've not gone back to since, but I just remember being weighed heavily down upon after watching it. Is about the best way I can describe it. Number 2 is Hero. Now, this is the film that really brought Zhang Yimou to Western prominence. Got him noticed by the Western world. It stars Jet Li, among many others. Zhang Ji, one of my favourite actresses. It's a real shame she just doesn't do much work these days, to be honest. She's all but disappeared from acting. She does still do the minor role now and again, but yeah, around this time when Hero came out, she was doing quite a lot. She was in a lot of movies, and I just think she's a fantastic actress. Like I say, it's a shame she doesn't do more. But yeah, this is a film that kind of takes much inspiration from Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon, in the sense that it tells the story from different perspectives, and when we're in a different perspective, the whole colour palette of the film changes. And if nothing else, you could turn the sound off on this movie and just watch it, and it would just be a visual feast. It is absolutely stunning. The visuals on screen are just incredible. Some of the finest martial arts sequences you'll have seen as well. Coming off the back of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I think that film, Ang Lee's film, is really what brought that kind of film over to the West as well. But this capitalised on that film's success and to great effect. Is it as good as that film? Not quite for me, but it's still a stunning piece, I must say. And so my number one choice, my favourite Zhang Yimou film, is House of Flying Daggers, starring once again Zhang Ji. Now she gets a bit more of a beefed up role in this one. The other one was more of an ensemble piece. This is really about three characters. There's a bit of a love triangle thing going on. It's about these undercover cops who are trying to find out this terrorist leader, if you want to call him that, leader of this group. Yeah, a lot of twists and turns, a lot of characters who turn out to be not what you thought they were. And yeah, like I say, it's a very good film. I won't go into it any more than that because I don't want to ruin any of the twists and turns. But once again, a visually stunning film. Some of the visuals in this film actually caught by accident because the final set piece takes place in the snow, and that wasn't intended. They turned up, they wanted to start filming, and the night before, really heavy snow in a place that they don't usually get that much snow, and it just completely blitzed the place. So at the last minute, Yimou just decided, all right, you know what, we'll turn this segment into something of a fairy tale, and we'll just work with the snow. So but it looks incredible, absolutely beautiful. Like I say, great performances all round. Really good music as well. I can't remember the name of the guy, Shigeru. He did the music for this, but really incredible music. And there's a song in it that Zhang Ji's character sings that as well is quite nice. Just incredible all round, really. It's a 5-star film for me. Again, not quite as good as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but if there's a film that comes close, it's definitely this one. But there you go. That is my top 5 Zhang Yimou films. Now, if you like this director, or even if you don't, please do comment below and let me know, and Luke, what you think of his work. I think he's got some incredible films in his filmography, and definitely some that are worth checking out. But let us know, and thank you, Luke, once again for having me on.
He's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. He's really cool. He's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.